YouTube videos and report the fact that they've made disparaging and threatening things against black women, and you report it and they do nothing. And let me tell you something I noticed. It's not just with this sector either, but I've also noticed, for example, you have content creators, beauty gurus. You have very talented black women. You know, they make videos and stuff. They don't get enough views. They don't get enough likes. They don't. They don't get enough praise. But the Beckys and the Karens do all the time. And some of them have literally been caught in scandals where they've said the N-word, they've said some racial things, and they said disrespectful things towards black people and black women in particular. And literally, they have millions of subscribers. Mammies. So clearly, at the end of the day, no one wants to see black women win. They don't. Let a black woman put a video up saying, I hate being a black woman. See how many views she gets. Yep. Sure do. He makes at least 1,000 in all his lives. And he's talking about black women and bashing us and threatening us. We'll be minding our own business, and out of nowhere they come and bother us, and they make money off of that, and YouTube says nothing. What is wrong with you? You literally have people that make the dumbest videos on YouTube. When I say the dumbest videos, I mean the dumbest videos, and they make a ton of money. They do. And the thing is, they know that they make good money on YouTube. So when you see black women like my channels as well as others, and we're trying to come up, they see it as a threat. They see it as a problem. And they do everything they can to shut us down. They work as a team to make sure we get shut down. And it's a shame. There was a woman on YouTube who made a video basically saying how black women do not look right in bright colors. Millions of views. Ridiculous. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, so I did that video in regards to the Richard guy, the one that was shot and killed in Atlanta at the Wendy's. You know, they're protesting, and now they're saying, oh yeah, well, he shouldn't have been killed for falling asleep behind the wheel. I'm like, are you stupid or are you stupid? He didn't fall asleep behind the wheel. He was passed out drunk, and he shouldn't have been behind the wheel in the first place, knowing that he was intoxicated. The cop that killed him may be charged with murder. They're ruling his death as a homicide. So it's about to get ugly in here. They sure are. These niggers on here talking about hypergamy and femininity. They're only talking about that because that's what black women was talking about. Because they know that that's what non-black men want in black women. They know that they cannot compete against these non-black men when it comes to women. So now they want to use the space to talk about it. They do. Some of them don't even have jobs. They literally make money off of YouTube. I mean, it must be nice for you to do a 5, 6, 7, 8 hour live stream. Most of us have lives. We can't do live streams that long. An hour or two, maybe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, I can't do it. There's 24 hours in a day. I need at least 8 hours of sleep. So, you think I'm going to sit there and spend the rest of my time making 8-hour live streams? Can't do it. Every time we have our own spaces and we talk about our own things when it comes to black women and empowerment, guess who always tries to enter themselves in our spaces? We didn't ask for them to come into our spaces. They put themselves in our spaces. We taught black people how they should open up their options. It's a problem. Hey, Tropical. We tell black people or black women how they should open up their options and how they should rest in their femininity and stay home and not be out there protesting. We told them it's their fight. Now all of a sudden they saw that many black women were sitting down and this went viral, starting because of the Swirlers and divested women. Now all of a sudden they want to put their 2 cents in and they want to talk about why it's messed up that we're talking about staying home and this is not our fight and blah blah blah. Really? Go ahead, Misunderstood. What's your question? I find it to be a bunch of bull crap. I swear, you literally have people that swear they hate us so much, but yet they're always in our spaces. They use our talking points. Now, obviously, we're not that bad because you're using our talking points. And the only way you would know about our talking points is if you were listening to us secretly. So you want to use that and make that into your own content. Make that make sense. You can type your question in, Misunderstood. She said, you see how B. Simone talked about her preference? Black men had a lot to say, right? Why are men having the opinion of a random woman's dating preference? They're so feminine. Yep, they're very feminine. A real man is not going to worry about a woman's preference. The only reason why he's worried about it is because they know that black women are opening up their options more and they're dating out more. And they know that when they say black women are undesirable, no one wants them at the bottom of the totem pole is a lie. They know this. And the lies are being exposed. So that's why all of a sudden they want to put their 2 cents in. And like I said before, I feel like any man that talks about a woman's hair, nails, and makeup and now her dating preferences, he's very feminine. Why are men who are supposedly masculine talking about feminine issues? Does not make sense. You don't see non-black men talking about it because they know what it's like to be men. They always take on the masculine role. These niggers have nothing to do but to take on feminine characteristics, and they get mad when you, as a black woman, call it out. A real man is not going to sit there and get his feelings hurt because of a woman's preference. Makes no sense. Anytime a man gets offended by a woman's dating preference, I'm looking at him sideways. I'm like, all right. And they know when she says that, they're not included with that preference. They know that. They couldn't afford to be with her. They know that. They try to shame black women into having a preference. They want black women to accept peanuts. They want black women to just accept the fact, all right, well, here, I'm your man. Just to say, just to say I have a man. They don't want black women to have standards because they know that hey, Caramel, they know that if black women were to have standards, they wouldn't be included in their dating pool. They know this. I'm telling you, every single day, these niggers are being exposed for who they truly are. That's another reason why they were jumping on Candace Owens. Because at Candace Owens, she speaks the truth. Yeah, she may have said some controversial things. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have said things that people don't agree with all the time. But she's calling it as you see it. She's calling a spade, and they don't like it. They don't like the fact that black women cannot be bullied and brainwashed anymore. Black women are coming out of the shadows and they're speaking their truth. And that is the worst thing that could happen to them. Because when some black woman opens up her mouth and speaks her truth, stuff is about to go down. And I know that that's a fact. But see, they don't want people to say anything in regards to their preference. See, as a divested black woman, I really don't care about their preference. They can be with a beanpole. I don't care. And I just wish that as black women, when you're saying that you're divested, you have to take that same mindset and say, you know what, I don't care about their preference. I'm going to do my preference. I'm going to work on my preference. I know what my preference is. I'm going to rest knowing that this is my preference, that this is what I want, and I'm not going to settle. I think a lot of black women also, when it comes to it, they are afraid of divesting because they know that they have to hold accountability. See, the thing is, they know that these nakers and nakerettes are the biggest hypocrites. And daily they're being exposed for who they are. So that would be my answer. Hopefully it makes sense. Because it kind of brings up to the point where black women were raised to not have standards. They were raised to accept nothing but less. They weren't expected to accept the best. And it's like a generational curse that gets passed down. You see the dysfunction from your great-grandmother, your grandmother, your mother, now you, and then you want to pass it on to your kids? No, it needs to stop somewhere. I'm telling you, many black women, they don't think that they deserve better. They swear if they have a baby with a man, that he will be there, he will be kept. And that's a problem. What we have going on is that a lot of these nakers, they're taking on the role as women. So they're feminine and the nakerettes are being masculine. That's not how it should be. The role should be reversed, not the other way around. Yep. Karen says, we are the mothers of the earth. They have hated us for thousands of years. Stay alert through these times. And I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to just let it go. On that note, understand that black women who are divested, black women who are not a part of Blackistan, we are the ones that are going to survive. We are the ones that's going to make it through everything. As you notice right now, we're not being touched. And we're not going to be. Because we are protected. And that's why I say we need to stay focused. We need to do right. We need to put that into the atmosphere. What's going on right now is that everything that's happening to these nakers, it is due to karma. For the many years of disrespect and the trauma and abuse that they have put on black women and girls. When you constantly do things to people, there is such thing as karma. It comes back to bite you. They were the ones that helped sell our ancestors into slavery. They try to blame it on white people. Oh, your lies are coming out now. And like Naomi said, we need to move in silence. See, divested women, we don't make announcements about the moves that we make. We move in silence. And we do what needs to be done. And at the end of the day, we are going to prevail. The nakerettes that choose to identify themselves as black women and they can only identify themselves based on race, they want to hang out with those nakers, this is what they get. They're going to perish. We don't need those women. We needed a deep cleansing, and this is what's happening right now. Right, like Karen said, walk in our own lane. We got this. Swirlers and divested women will not be touched. You mark my words. We're not the ones that's going to be affected by the casualties of war. They are. Let them be. Let them duke it out. Because they're soon about to get a rude awakening. We are getting, what goes around comes around. You can't keep treating black women like crap and don't expect things to happen to you. It has been happening for so long. And now that we're getting our justice, black women, justice has been served. What we see going on right now is justice that black women have been yearning for a long time. We're good. Cameron says, I'm married to a very strong Puerto Rican man and we're very strong together, so I will stay home and make myself a dress. That's right. We as black women, we got this. Let the nakerettes and the Mammies, they're sitting there whining over these neighbors. Let them have it. They're the ones that's going to be lost. You can't help them. It's not your job to continuously try to help them. You said what you said. I've said what I said on my platform. If they can't see what's going on right now, right in front of their faces, then they can't be helped. Mm-hmm. Like Kara said, this is a divine awakening. But anyways, I'm going to let you guys go right now. I want to thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. I am going to try to do a live stream later on today. If I do, I'm going to try to do one at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Hopefully more people are joining and you guys will come back. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a good morning, and I will see you on the next one. Girl, do better. I wanted to say, girl, do better, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold my tongue on this one. This is what black women are expected to accept. They want you to give up the cookie. They want you to give up everything just to say you got a man. It just doesn't make sense. They tell you that you're a gold digger when you expect a man to pay for a date. Let me give you an example. If a man asks you out on a date, he is supposed to pay. He is supposed to pay. Not go half and half, not, oh yeah, you're going to pay for the tip or anything like that. He needs to pay. He asked you out on a date. He needs to be pulled out of his pocket. I just don't get it. Exactly. I'm a gold digger then, because my man pays for everything. Whether we go out to eat, whether we order something, whether we go out, even to the grocery store, I don't pay for a damn thing. Everything is in my pocket. The money that I earn belongs to me. There has never been a time that he expected me to put my hands out to pay for something. That's the type of man you're supposed to have. It's shameful for a man to be with a woman and he expects her to do the man thing and pay. That makes me a gold digger? Oh well, I'm a gold digger. Am I teaching my daughters to be gold diggers? You're absolutely right. I'm telling them if a man can't provide for you, he can't do right by you, he can't respect you, then you don't need him. All right, so some of you dummies out there want to say, yeah, my daughters have been raised to be female gold diggers. All right. I make sure she has her own, though. I will make sure that they have their own. Make sure that they can, Mama did raise a dummy. You see, my oldest is at that age where she's about to be 18 in a matter of weeks. And this is going to be a test. There's nothing about expecting a man to pay. That's a bad thing. That's what he's supposed to do. Do you think my husband would allow our kids to be married to a man that's going to allow them to have a life of struggle? No. Not Naomi. So just says broke flicks and chill. BS says the black community loves telling black women to help a brother out, and it's sad. Right? Can you help a brother out? I get paid this week. You better pick up another trade. They don't want to do better. They don't want to excel. This is the same community that sit there and clown black women for getting an education. They say, oh, all black women just want to be nurses. You don't get paid money to be a nurse. Do you know how hard it is to be a nurse? Especially now with this pandemic. You see their need him now more than ever, right? You can't do what a nurse could do. It's amazing how they do that. And it is a telling fact that black women are more educated than black males. That's not a lie. Oh, so you just want to be a nursing assistant. Hey, Katina, it's better than what you're being right now. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Um, Mika was right. She said black women should raise their standards and not breed another generation of poverty and dysfunction. I don't mean any disrespect. Our image is low because we accept the least and sometimes nothing. Bingo. And then when you try to tell them that, they look at it as a problem. Jennifer says, well, I'll be a gold digger because he's supposed to pay. I know that's right. Brooklyn says, it's useless to be with a man that doesn't provide. Right. Like, what? Nobody wants to be with a broke man? Just like men supposedly say they have standards when they pick women, women should have standards when it comes to be with a man. No one wants to be with a man that's broke. Let's be honest here. Oh, I didn't marry him for his money. I married him because I loved him. Meanwhile, he's sitting here working at McDonald's and you're struggling to make ends meet. Who wants to be in a relationship, and even worse, in a marriage where a man can't even provide? He can't even provide the basic necessities. No one wants to be in a relationship where you're constantly struggling. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you don't have food on the table, you can't get clothes on your back, you can't pay your bills because you're always behind, you can't do regular things because someone never has money. No one wants to live that life. Are you serious? So you're getting mad at B. Simone because she's basically said, I'm not about that broke life. Huh. I'm not mad at her. We need to practice that. Take notes, ladies. Mika also said you don't get a prize for being a mule mammy or walking mat. And we see that now in the so-called pro-black community. They're seeing that right now. They're seeing it right now. Brooklyn Lady says a gold digger has high standards. They try to make it look like that's a bad thing. It's never a bad thing. That's what a man is supposed to do. Are you serious? Ms. Understood says if a man can provide and work to pay the bills, why is he there? Men are created to provide for us. That's their main purpose, right? I mean, he's worthless. Like, if he can't do that, what's the point? People say, well, you need a guy for sex. Okay, well, there's toys. I mean, I don't need it, but I'm just saying. It says most black men call black women gold diggers because they're jealous. They can't do it. They can't and they won't do it. So what they do is they tend to go to these broke white women because they know the white women, they love that BBC. And they don't care about the fact that they have to work 2 to 3 jobs and deal with those men toys. That's why they go to them anyway. Because they don't even have standards themselves. Why do you think those black women who are with why do you think the white women, the Beckys and not even Beckys and Karens, the white women who are with black men, why do you think that by the time if they in a relationship with a black man and they try to go back to the white community, they say, we don't want that. We don't want that. Go ahead and continue that struggle. Brittany said these mammies work several jobs when they have a daycare laying up on their couch all the time. Work 2, 3 jobs and he's sitting at home playing the Xbox. How many of them are going to have that PS5 that's out or that's about to be out? But they can't pay bills and they can't put food on the table, but they'll make sure they have that PS5 though. Mary says, I don't even want to work in social work area after my bachelor's in social and cultural anthropology. Hey. And then Naomi said, then they complained about the strong, independent black woman. Right, like, you can't have it both ways. You either want a woman that's independent or she's not. So, I mean, what do you expect? If a woman is sitting there paying all the bills she's doing, but a man and a woman is supposed to do, then she doesn't need a man. She could be in her own place. And then a lot of these black women think it's okay for a man to come up and live under their roof. Like, don't you find that kind of suspect that a man wants to live under your roof? For what? You just met him, and he's only using you for a place to stay. Those are the women that are mad at B. Simone. You know how some of those nakers do. They'll do and say anything just to get up under your roof, just to lay up under your roof. You sitting there paying the bills and everything, and think he's supposed to call the shots. That's what they want misunderstood, but ain't nobody got time for that. Brooklyn Lady says, build up a man. He will use your resources to get a woman he really wants. Right, and that's why I am an advocate for women not building a man. When he come up to you and say, hey, my name is, he better have his stuff in order. If he doesn't, you need to turn around, walk away, keep it pushing. Because you're sitting there wasting your time and energy being with the man that can't do for self. You're setting yourself up for failure. There's no way that a man should ever ask a woman for money. There is no way that a man should be asking a woman to provide for him. Never, ever, ever. If he's running into financial difficulties, he better do it himself. He needs to figure out how to get himself out that rut. See, many black women are used to being the cleanup woman. Let me tell you why. They'll get with these men just to say, I have a man. You know he's no good. You will sit there and accept a man. He may got 8 kids by 8 different women. Can't pay child support. That's definitely a red flag when the courts have to force you to take care of your kid. But that's another story. But you take a man under your wing and you think that he's different. You sitting there paying up all your bills. And these are the same women. They go file their taxes with their boo thing, okay? And then their tax refunds get garnished because the man is a bum. And then they turn around and say, oh no, it's okay, baby. We're gonna work it out. You don't. And then you got some of these women that think it's okay to build a man. For example, LeBron James' wife. I think they were high school sweethearts. She was with him during their broke days. And now she helped build him up. And now that he has all this money, he's not even faithful to her. He's constantly being obsessed with white women. Those are the women that he really wants. They caring. And that's what many of them do. So many black women are so used to building a man. No, he needs to have his stuff together. You're driving him around in your car. Why doesn't he have a license? Why doesn't he have his car? Many of you hanging out with a dude that's riding a bus. What? Like, black women need to have more. Black women need to have more standards. Maybe if black women had better standards, then we would not be in the positions that we're in right now. Misunderstood say they want black women to be wearing a potato sack as a dress, sweeping the floor, cooking, and being a servant to the black male in a hut made out of a straw, getting beat up all day. Continue to say dirty BBC. Oh my God. Mary says, ladies, would you consider doing the master's degree or getting some work experience internship programs? You can do it, but make sure you do it for yourself. Excuse me, y'all. Because black women have to be careful letting men in their homes. These men can be abusive towards the women and the kids, and they use the resources without contributing to the home. Yeah, and I've said that all the time, but then they tell me I'm a hater. They said that I don't have a say-so because I'm a swirler. They say I'm white, so I don't have a say-so. Like, it just makes no sense. I have allergies, so that's why I was coughing. I'm sorry. Naomi said he cheats on her with white women. Yep. Jay-Z does the same thing to Beyonce too. Why do you think that she came up with that song? Was that song or album, Lemonade? Why do you think Solange whipped his tail in the daggone elevator? Because she knew what was up. Black women, we need to stop being the cleanup woman. We need to stop being the builder man. That's not our responsibility. That's what they want you to do. That's not our job to do that. Mika said that's how children are molested at rape. Yeah. Because so many women are just so eager to be with a man. And then they put their children in these situations like, y'all need to chill. Like, you should have made the right decision in who you chose to make a kid with. Now you're in the situation where you're not with him anymore because clearly he's a bum. And because you're so desperate to be with a man, you're putting your children in the mix. Like, no. I don't think it's appropriate for a woman to have a man that she's not married to living in her home. But that's just me. Yep, Mika, I think that's what it was. Sorry. Becky with the good hair. But yeah, I'm all for. You know what they do all the time is understood. Misunderstood say YouTube censors big time when you talk about black men. And I think they've been messing with my channel for the past few days because my subscriber count is off. Well, some of you are. So I have the YouTube Studio app, for content creators to monitor my channel. So when some of you are posting comments, I will try to respond to them and they'll say it's no longer available. Like they are censoring the heck out of people. That's why I'm glad that you guys were able to get this live this morning, because for the past few days, people have not been getting notifications that I'm live. It's like they're messing with me. Right, you're not supposed to live with a man before you get married. You're not supposed to. Like, I just don't get that. And then Brooklyn said babysit your kids while you're at work. And that's why a lot of things go wrong. A lot of things go wrong. She sure did. She made Miss Understood said she made a whole album crying about Jay-Z. Like, girl, you could have had a lot better, but you chose to be with that, Yeah, I'm just not surprised. She chose to be with a camel, okay? I'm not even lying. If you look at Jay-Z's face and look at the camel on that Camel cigarette box, you can Google it. They are twins. Shoot. People tweeted about that. My mom talked about that years ago. She was like, why is she with that dude? He looks like a straight camel. Why is she with that clown? She could have been with someone much better. I said, clearly these women don't have standards. Look at Tamar Braxton, for example. Talented. She could sing, She could do a lot of things. She comes from a nice family. She got with Vince Herbert, and she literally said the reason why she wore blonde wigs all the time because that's what he wanted. He loved women with blonde hair. Basically, he was fascinated with white women with blonde hair. So that's why she wore those blonde wigs all the time. She couldn't even be herself. Mika says, I heard the YouTube CEO is a white woman. Yeah. Because we all know white, and that's another topic, but I'm going to touch on that really quick. We all know that many white people, majority of white women, 99.99% of them hate black women. They're jealous and they're envious of black women. So whenever there's a negative undertone when it comes to black women, they're going to promote just to make themselves look good. They know that they are not the standards of beauty, and the reason why they were placed as the standards of beauty is because of the racist rhetoric that's been in place. They know that. So when you sit there and talk about black women and you uplift them, you do everything you can to censor them. Because you don't want black women to look good. You don't want them to feel good. You don't want anything positive for black women. So when you see black women on social media, in particular YouTube, such as myself and a few others, uplift black women, they try to shut us down. Right. She stayed with him and she had more children. Like, really? You made a mistake when you had the one child, but then you kept having kids with him. Like, oh my gosh. Karen says a dust magnet. Oh yeah, that's right. Naomi says Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, he thought that Tina was a white woman when they first met. So because he couldn't get a white woman, he had to get the closest thing, which was Beyonce's mother. Let's be honest here. If you look at it, especially back then, notice how a lot of dark-skinned makers were or are, if they're still alive, with high yellow women. And I don't mean to say that, but that's what they used to call them. I'm not lying. They had a hatred for dark-skinned black women back then. If you notice the older couples, if you notice them, in your neighborhood or the grocery store or whatever, if you ever see an older black couple and that man is dark skinned, Notice how 9 out of 10 you would see him with a very light-skinned woman. But that's on another topic. Everything, Bia says that marriage is probably fake. You know, everything in Hollywood seems to be fake and everything is orchestrated. So you're probably right, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Right. Naomi said, I used the Becky's to get access to more white women. Hey, Kati. Kati says, sad truth is that some of the prettiest women tend to get with the wrong men and ignore signs. It's sad. Misunderstood said, yeah, she always mentioned being red bone. But guess what? We're in 2020, and even the quote-unquote red bones aren't getting attention from the makers. Hell, if you're mixed, you're not getting attention if you got a black mother. If you have a black father and a non-black mother, you'll get attention. But if you are a mixed person and you have a black mother and a non-black father, you're not getting with makers. They don't want you. You know how it used to be? It used to be light skin, the very light skin, to mix, which at that point they didn't care if your mom, they didn't care whether your mom was black, the father's white, vice versa. You just had to be mixed. Then it got to the point whereas if they consider a mixed person, your mom can't be black. So she needs to be a non-black woman and the father and your father's a black man. And now they don't even want to say that you have to be a non-black woman for you to be considered by these neighbors. And you notice that the women, these non-black women that the neighbors get, what do? They try to sound like a black woman. They try to dress like a black woman. They try to wear their hairstyles like black women. They try to move like black women. They try to do their makeup styles like black women. They copy everything that black women do. And these neighbors love it. They want a woman who can play the role of a black woman, but she's not physically black. Those are the women that the neighbors are going for. So I'm not surprised. Mary says, in Europe, many older black women bleach their skin to look better and have nicer skin because their spouse is like, if you literally have to damage yourself just to please a man, you gotta be crazy. You can't, Karen. You can't ignore the signs. Like, the signs are there. And the other thing that black women tend to do, they don't pay attention to the signs. They look at these men, they see the things that these men do, and they say, oh, well, he's not doing it to me. We don't have those problems. He's changed. Okay, well, here's the saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. Do I believe that's true? Absolutely. Because if he'll cheat on you once, he'll do it again. And this time he'll do it so whereas he will make sure that you don't find out. If a man disrespected you once, he'll do it again. Because if he had respect for you, he will never do it in the first place. Naomi said, yep, a lot of African women do that, and the gag is that white men like dark skin. They do. Have you noticed that? White men, they'll date black women, but if you notice, they usually tend to go for the darker ones with natural hair, stuff like that. Because said there's a lady that goes by a witch doctor. She did a reading on Jay-Z and Beyonce. You should watch that video. I try not to get into stuff like that, and that's just me. But I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised about them in their relationship. If you believe in power, spells, and evil, then you most likely believe in God. Beyonce is making a choice to stay. I understand conditioning and abuse, and we can't use that as an excuse. She's grown. Yeah. At this choice, she gets. Like, you know the difference between right and wrong. You could have left. You could have walked away, but you didn't. Mary says, my mother looked fine as a dark-skinned black woman, and once she got with him, she started bleaching, and he followed. Crazy. But no, B. Simone is right. I agree with everything she said. She didn't tell a lie. Black women, you need to practice hypergamy. That is not a crime. That's what you're supposed to do as a woman. Other cultures expect their women to practice it. Maybe if black women started to practice hypergamy, we would be in a better state. We wouldn't be in these struggle unions. Black women can be as powerful as we choose to be. And I said if we choose to. Because unfortunately, many black women are choosing not to. They're sitting there shaming hypergamy as if it's a bad thing. Why? Because the makers told you that. They want to make you feel bad because you want someone that can take care of you. That's normal. It's abnormal for you to want a man that's going to struggle. Right. B Misunderstood says B Simone really embarrassed herself when she sat up there stumbling over her words, trying to get on black people's good side so the niggas don't get offended. See, what we need people to do is stand by what you say. Don't stumble. Don't explain why you said what you said. If people want to get an explanation as to why you said what you said, ignore it. If you want to say something that said, I've said what I said, and if you don't understand, read it again, take it as you want it, and leave it at that. She doesn't need to explain to other people why she chooses to be with a man that she chooses to be with. At the end, she's going to win. Now, in her tweet, she also said something about manifestation. And I want to get on that really quickly. Manifestation is it's a serious thing. It's a real thing. You can achieve it if you believe it. If you put it out there in the universe, that's what you get. So if you put out positive energy, that's what you get. When you put out negative things out there, that's what you get. She's putting it out there in the universe. This is what I want in a man. And I feel that at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to get. When you speak things into existence, it'll happen. That's why they say you be careful with your words, because your words are very, very powerful. You could literally speak things into existence. When you wish things upon other people, that's what you'll get, because you put it out there in the universe. What she's putting out there is say, listen, this is the man that I want. These are the characteristics that I want from him, and this is what I need. She's putting it out there. She feels that that's what she's going to get, and I believe that that is what she's going to get. So I'm curious, do you guys really think that manifestation is a true thing, or do you think it's just a myth? Because me personally, I feel it's a true thing. Right. Misunderstood saying that dark-skinned man, when she's talking about building and inspiring a man, that's extremely masculine. Why do you have to inspire a man? He needs to be able to inspire himself. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I swear, some of these women just speak just to speak. Nothing that they do or say makes sense. Hey, straight up. Straight up says B. Simone is ghetto running after rappers. She's not going to get the man she wants because of her taste of men and lack of class. Yeah. See, I know, I know what she's saying she wants, and she's able to get it. But, like straight up says, she's also right. You have to change. You know, if you're constantly getting these no good men, you need to sit back and realize, what are you doing? What are you saying to attract these men? And what you need to do to change it so that you don't end up with these type of men. Booklet says it's powerful, and Misunderstood says it's true. Mary says manifestation work. I've experienced it, the good and the bad. Kachi said that is true. I used to date a white guy obsessed with darker skinned women. I'm reddish brown, so I tell him to go be with him. Bye bye. Oh god, that's true. Yeah, she does seem like the type that like cook guys. And my thing is, she's right by what she's saying, but she also like straight up said, and some of you guys, she tend to go for the hood type guys. Those are not the men that you want. Like, if you're going to talk about manifestation, you need to be careful about, look at the type of men that you're choosing. These aren't the men that you want. Mika says B. Simone doesn't want to be bullied and harassed, and that's why she tried to be soft about her reply. I get it. Just hate that black women can't speak their minds without being attacked. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. My thing is, I felt that she didn't have to explain herself as to what she's choosing to, as far as a romantic partner. Black women, I'm gonna need for them to stop getting triggered over everything. Like, damn, like take a break. You all get triggered over everything, everything. And I feel that at the end of the day, and I will say this, like Mika said, um, oh yeah, you're right about that, Naomi. Straight facts. The issue is that black women care too much about what people think. We need to stop caring about what people think, and we just need to do what we need to do. It seems like black women are the only ones that's always asking for acceptance. They're always asking for permission. They always feel the need to explain why they feel the way that they feel, why to do the things that they do. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You are not my mother. I am not going to sit here and tell you why I said what I said and explain why I've said what I've said. If you don't like it, oh well, take a pacifier, sit down, suck on it, and shut up. She didn't have to do all that explaining. You know, another one that went on an explaining spree, um, Tika Sumter, on her tweet that she mentioned the other day, when she talked about how black women, if you are in an interracial relationship, you don't need to protect your white partner. Don't worry, he'll be fine. She didn't have to explain why she said that. But of course, the Wakistan community feels like, oh no, she's going to give us an explanation. F you and your explanations. Thanks, Brick Flower and Alicia. You're right. Wakistan is a joke. But manifestation is real though. But what I'm going to need B. Simone to do, she is a pretty girl. And I'm glad, she went from 9 to 5 to becoming her own CEO and doing her thing. But she also needs to be responsible about the choices of men that she had chosen to have in her life. Those are the men that you want. You keep choosing these type of men and you're going to get the same results. If you're going to talk about manifestation, you also need to be realistic about the partners that you're choosing, and you need to break the cycle. Hood niggas ain't it. There's nothing attractive about a man who is a hood nigger. It's just, there's nothing attractive about it. I'm telling you right now, me personally, even though I'm married, I can't stand to see a man walking down the street with his pants hanging off his behind. And the bad thing is, he's wearing a belt. I don't need to see your underwear. I don't need to see that. I don't need to see or hear a man every 5 seconds in this, in that, F this, F that. We get it. Adults, every once in a while, we say curse words, but if every other word that comes out of your mouth is, hey Nisha, is, what do you call it? A curse word or the N word, like, what is wrong with you? Right. That's what I'm saying. They're anti-black women. I don't even know why she wanted to get their opinion. Hi, Nisha. Straight up says, I don't believe it be black women really be tripping, because when it comes to these black women do that's positive, nobody hears it. But let it be something negative, all of a sudden folks hear. We all know how it is in the pro-black community. You do something or say something positive, you're not liked. They ignore you. You do something negative, oh, you get attention. Mika says, truth be told, black women don't have anyone supporting or uplifting us, so that's why we back down and are afraid to say anything and do what we please. We have to make sure we don't allow ourselves to stay at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And Misunderstood says, black men are very possessive towards black women when a black woman is swirling. All of a sudden, all black women matter to them. So, let me tell you what happened on, where was it? It was on Saturday. So, I went to the pharmacy with my husband. I went to pick up my meds. And we were in a grocery store, just just picking up things, and this nigger out of nowhere, I mean out of nowhere, he appeared like Casper. He just appeared like a ghost. He saw us and he just started acting the fool. He went from acting normally to walking minding his business to when he saw us together, he just had to act up. He started hopping around like a monkey, started singing all loud, doing these stupid dance moves, talking all loud and everything. And I'm sitting there thinking, is this dude sick or is he sick? And then he started talking really loud. And then he was like, I don't even know why she is with that man. She's a sister. I don't know why he think he's supposed to be with our women. Now, I wanted to say something, but I said, you know what? Don't give him the attention because he looks awfully stupid. Let him expose himself. So then a woman comes by and she hears him ranting on, and she was a black woman. And he said, she was like, what are you talking about? And so he started pointing and said, I can't see it. She said, well, you just need to mind your business. They're grown. They don't need to answer to you. Mind your business. And she was like, obviously, if you're sitting here acting a fool, you're trying to get her attention, but you look stupid. And I was like, finally, black women that get it. Like, you around all these white people cutting up and acting a fool. This is what these niggers do. This is what they do. You can't make this stuff up. They really think that they own you. And then they always hit back with the, oh, well, when black men stayed outside, they raised black women have a problem with it. But they don't want us to have a problem with it when they do it. Black women aren't checking for you. We don't care if you're dating outside your race. The only ones that care are the niggerettes. Please. The reason why these niggers get along so well with these Beckys because they love attention. They love making themselves look stupid. They want to be the center of attention. They want all eyes to be on them, good, bad, or indifferent. When you don't give them the attention that they crave, they act up. Straight up says, make it derail your life or detail your life or depending on what type. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Straight up says the only women that black women need to be possessive with is the chick with them, right? They're both narcissists. That's why they get along so well. That's why they get along so well. But you know what? I do agree with B. Simone. As I said before, manifestation is a serious thing. It's a real thing, and I do agree with that. But she also needs to be careful about the men she's choosing, because if you keep choosing these men, then there's something that you're doing wrong that's attracting these men to you. You have to break the cycle. So if you want a decent man, you need to take time for self, figure out who you are as an individual, work on what you need to work on. Make sure that whatever you're doing to attract these no good men in your life, you stop it, because the more you do that, if you do that, you'll be fine. But if you don't, you're going to keep attracting the wrong type of people. Mika said the dude that said he would have tried to hurt her if the situation was reversed. Yeah. But he also saw my husband there. My husband is very tall. He didn't want that. He didn't want it. Now, my husband was going to say something. He was like, no, we're not going to do it right now because, these people just do stupid crap for attention. He clearly was jealous, straight up. Clearly was. They really don't. They don't think that black women deserve better. That's why you got the Makeress that's on social media going off of B. Simone. Because they're the same ones that don't have standards. Like, please. Y'all be tripping. Right. Misunderstood says the black community low-key wants B. Simone to be a baby mama to a Dusty. You didn't know? So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So I agree with everything B. Simone was saying. I just feel like she needs to, continue to look for self, but she needs to fix, what she's doing to attract these Dusties so that she doesn't get another Dusty in her life. It's okay to be single. It's okay to take time for yourself to figure things out and to do you. It's not a crime. I wish more black women understand that, because jumping from one relationship after another and you still have issues to fix, it's not going to help your situation. It's just going to make it worse.